Um, and we're recording this meeting as well as you can go to our website and look back on this meeting and others. So I see Christie's here and Officer Cervantes are here. You guys need to unmute. But I invited them for a couple of reasons to give us an update on crime in Congress Park and other police related activities in Congress Park, um, not just around the 1200 block where the most recent crimes have taken place, but also along Colfax, where things around BRT are impacting neighbors. Officer Cervantes and Christie, can you guys unmute?
Hi,
Hi.
hi, Vicki.
Hi.
Thank you for having us tonight. I was going to go ahead and let Officer Cervantes handle updating you guys and answering any
That'd be great.
questions, and then I can hop in if we want to talk about neighborhood watch afterwards.
That'd be great. That'd be great. Thank you for coming, officer.
You're welcome. Hi, Vicki. Thank you for having us. So I know the biggest two updates that you had mentioned in your original email to Christy obviously were regarding the homicide that occurred on Columbine Street. I know that Christy sent you over that press release bulletin when they let the community know that they did arrest the suspect in that case. So hopefully you shared that with the rest of this group and pushed that out to all of the neighbors. As far as the incident that occurred on 12th Avenue over at Zorba's. I know there were some questions regarding that also, so I did a little research on that case today. The biggest thing that we want to ask you all and pass this message on to the community also, if you guys can check or, of any business owners or other neighbors close by in that vicinity, if you guys can check, your Ring doorbell cameras, alley cameras, things like that, around the time of about 7:12 in the morning on July 23rd. That's when this incident took place. That's when the 911 call came in regards to this robbery that occurred there. So we are still actively asking the community for some assistance in trying to get additional investigative leads so that the detective on that case can continue working that robbery case. Again, it is assigned to a robbery unit detective because of the nature of that call. So that's kind of where we're at regarding that
So
incident
no
at
one
Zorba's.
has been arrested yet.
No, not
Okay.
as of yet. No, no, they have not made an arrest for that incident yet.
Officer Cervantes, was that
Uh-huh.
actually a robbery at Zorba's? Is that right?
Correct. Yeah. So it looks like the victim was one of the employees at Zorba's. And it occurred actually out in the back parking lot, that little like back parking lot area of the restaurant. And then again, it turned in just for clarification, it's a robbery. It's classified as a robbery due to the fact that the suspect pushed the victim to the ground and then with using that force took an item of value, which in that case was the victim's wallet. Um, there was mentions that a weapon may have been used. I don't know if there was a weapon seen on video surveillance or not, but again, even the simulation of a weapon in an incident like that is going to classify an incident like that as a robbery. So just so everyone's kind of on the same page as far as why it's considered a robbery.
Okay, do we have something written up already from the police department asking neighbors to check their Ring cameras for that time and date?
Um,
Vicki,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
do we have anything, Vicki?
I don't.
Okay, Officer Cervantes, if you could get us something written up asking,
Yep.
specifically what you need, I'm sure Maggie could send that out on a,
Yep, and
um,
typically we like to push out the Crime Stoppers bulletins that our PIO's office pushes out. So as soon as we receive one of those, or again, you guys might see it before we see it. They push those out, through different social media platforms. They get released, through media channels, things like that. But definitely. The partnership that we want to have between the police department and this group, when we get those sorts of Crime Stoppers bulletins, that's what we want to push out to you guys to then push out to the rest of the community through the RNO. So yeah, we will keep an eye on that and see if and when we receive one of those bulletins.
That'd be
okay,
great.
Yep.
that'd be great.
Are,
Thank you.
are there other crime things or issues that we should be aware of or looking out for to support your work?
Yep. So we did just get an update from our crime analyst and our lieutenant earlier today. This is nothing new. We pushed out this same message actually less than a month ago. And again, this kind of encompasses the entire precinct in which Congress Park lies in, which is precinct 213. But the biggest thing that we're still seeing is going to be theft from motor vehicles. So that's going to be not theft of motor vehicles, right? So not auto thefts, not cars getting stolen, but instead folks leaving items of value in the back seat or the front seat, right, in plain view. So the unsavory characters that are walking through the streets or in the alleys at night see that on the, see a purse or a backpack or a laptop, something like that on the front seat of the car. They smash the window, take it, and they're gone, within a matter of 30 seconds. So we're still seeing that. So again, just reminding friends, families, neighbors, please don't leave any items of value in plain view in your vehicles. Make sure your windows are rolled up, make sure, doors are locked, things like that. The other one that the other big item that we're still seeing is garage burglaries. So whether that's and typically some of these burglaries have happened with like there's a man door. Let's say you have like a detached garage, right? On the alley side, there's a man door that's left unlocked, right? The folks go through the alleys, they check the doors, a door's unlocked. Now they're into the garage and they're taking, bicycles, e-bikes, tools, things like that, even things that are left in vehicles that are in the garages, but the vehicles are left unlocked, right? Thinking that, well, my car's, in the garage, it should be safe, but with the doors unlocked, obviously people can still get in. So remembering to lock those doors up when they're, attached to the garage, especially if it's an attached garage. You don't want folks getting in that way because then they're getting into, into the home from the garage if the doors are unlocked. So those are really the hottest items that they wanted us to remind the community about as far as the most recent crimes that we're still seeing. Again, just property crime stuff at this point. Nothing else. No person on person crime besides the other recent ones that we already touched on.
Great.
Christie, I know you saw or you got that email from the lieutenant and Erica also. Was I missing anything as far as recent stuff in that area?
No, I think you covered the basics. I know we had talked about when I talked to Vicki about doing neighborhood watch and your questions of what to be aware of. That's exactly why we wanted to get this neighborhood watch programming going. Our neighborhood watch program is much different than it was 10, even 15 years ago. It's very inclusive. It's all about getting to know your neighbors. It's about being a good witness, how to articulate to police, implicit bias awareness to prevent erroneous reporting. It is significant. And then by sharing this information with you and building this relationship with the community groups in particular, we're able to get points of contact in the community in addition to Vicki. Vicki's amazing, and she's spent some time on the phone with me even, like, as we explain this. But for instance, last week I was pushing out information to your neighbors just to the west side of you. We're experiencing motorcycle thefts. It's something that we haven't seen. It's a unique trend just to the Hale neighborhood, and then to the to the east of you, and then to the west of you, we're seeing the detached garages becoming a hot item. And so to be able to have points of contact in the neighborhood, and Vicki herself, which helps to push this information out to neighbors. We are actively working on getting you guys more information on the Zorba's robbery. And as that comes available, we'll push that out to Vicki. And we'd love to, as we build the neighborhood watch communications, have additional people that we could help get those messages out to, so that neighbors are aware. In addition to that, we have a lot of other good points to our neighborhood watch program and outreach, as far as there are some nuts and bolts. We need to do a quick presentation with you all, and Vicki's been helping us. That one's scheduled for October 21st, but there's also long-term outreach and goals and crime prevention programs, all kinds of things that we want to share with your neighbors, and we want to get to know you better and find out how we can better serve you, what particular information, in addition to these crime updates or crime trends or crime prevention, what you'd like to see from us as far as supporting your community. So we're very much looking forward to October 21st and meeting all of you and just answering any questions. But also know, because I know Colfax is not too far north of you all, for many of you, just we want to share, there's some extra enforcement going on there. We'd love to update you on that. And by having these relationships, we can do that a little bit more thorough and more regularly with that neighborhood watch program. I know Vicki gets my emails. Do any of you get the other emails that we send out from District 2? And there's a lot of
think I
helpful.
do.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
So there's a lot of helpful information on there. And as soon as we get bulletins and updates, as you know, the press release that Vicki shared with you about the homicide incident, those kinds of things are included in there as well. But with our neighborhood watch groups, we tend to send them sooner, and then the rest of the district gets the information in a timely manner. But again, trying to make sure that we educate the community that's most affected as soon as possible is really important to our command staff.
I want to just expand on what Christie was saying about October 21st. I'm trying to organize having the Teller Elementary Auditorium available that evening for a live presentation from DPD on what the neighborhood watch program is now. It would be our regular meeting time of 7 p.m., but keep an eye on our email blasts and website, because Teller hasn't confirmed yet, but I'm very hopeful that they will. And I think getting block by block a little more connected could help with some of these smaller crimes that are going on. Does any neighbors, do you have questions for the officer or Christie? Go ahead, Wendy.
and I may be behind the eight ball or curve on this, but Christie, is there a quick flyer that you could share about the Neighborhood Watch program? You know, how is it different? What does it accomplish? How many people do you need? Who should people sign up with?
Absolutely. So we don't get into too many specifics, and we will adapt the program for any community. So some communities are highly participant, and other communities it's a very passive thing, but the information is there should there be an incident. So I can definitely send over a brief description. I can send over a sample flyer or a flyer that just has the word location to be determined for your October 21st meeting. We might not get every block represented per se, but any support that we can get and a starting point for us to be able to start the communications. To say how it differs would be a little tricky, because if people have been involved in our neighborhood watch, which you've probably seen signs in people's yards or on the back of their fences, it's not different from say 2 years ago, but it's definitely different from the 2000s, the 90s, the 80s. So the biggest thing is we focus a lot more on crime prevention, on getting to know your neighbors, on our communication methods with you, and then the implicit bias awareness. Again, focusing on the fact that people are not suspicious, but their behavior can be, and identifying and helping you identify and feel comfortable with what those behaviors might look like. And also redirecting anything that previously had come to the police that may be a city matter. So we go through all kinds of reporting and who to report to, and we actually go through some scenarios with you. So I have put together for different communities just basically the sample flyer, 2 or 3 brief sentences summary, and then also a few bullet points of what we cover in a neighborhood watch presentation. And I'd be happy to send that over to you all.
That would be great. The reason I'm asking is because I'm putting together the neighborhood newsletter this week and next, and I'd love to put in a blurb about that so that we can help to advertise the October 21 meeting.
Perfect. I appreciate your help with that. Do you want me to send that to Vicki and she'll pass it along to you, or what's the best way to get the information to you?
I think that's fine. You can send it to Vicki.
Okay.
Yeah,
and then
I'll
you can
look for it.
Great, thanks.
Perfect. Yeah, I will get that over to you. And then, like I said on the flyer, I'll just leave the section where it says date to be, location to be determined. And then, Vicki, are we doing a 7 o'clock on that or a 6 o'clock?
7 if it's okay.
Just double checking on that. So I'll make sure the flyer reflects that as well.
That's great.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you all. We appreciate your help. This program does not work without community support. So it starts at you both helping us to bring community interest into this. And it's hard to explain, but I tell you what, if you talk to neighborhoods that have been involved for a little while, and even people that just after we go through our first presentation, it definitely, people are like, not what I expected. This is really cool. And the idea that it's not monthly meetings. We're going to go through these nuts and bolts with you one time. And the way we expand our outreach from there is specific to your community, if depending upon if there is current crime, if there's things we need to take care of, crime prevention efforts, and then just general outreach and engagement, not always in an enforcement capacity, especially. So
I'm wondering, that makes me think, it would be great if you had a couple of quotes from neighborhoods that have been involved that really explain how it has impacted them.
I will definitely try to get some of those for you. Okay.
Super.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you both for taking time to come tonight. It's really helpful. John.
I don't know if this is more of a Doty issue and or if you guys interface with them, but I've noticed walking at night throughout the neighborhood particularly where the mid-block streetlights are. There are a number of situations where the lights are basically overgrown by the tree canopy. And I don't know whose responsibility that is. But the canopy, obviously it's not a problem in the winter, but there's a definite impact and loss of light during the summer and fall months. So I'm not quite sure who to take, who to take that concern to or how.
No, it's a very good observation. The one thing you'll hear the officers talk about is lighting is huge, right? It's one of our number one keys to crime prevention. And we're not in your neighborhood to know there's a lighting issue all the time, right? So you would know best on things like that. So what I'd encourage you to do, because it's not the tree, it's important and it's a crime prevention piece, but it's not a police matter. So what I would encourage you to do is call 311 because it's coming down to the trees and not necessarily Excel. So if city services would cover that, great. And if not, they'll let you know if there's something specific, like if that tree is entangled in wires, right? Then maybe we bounce to Excel. So I would recommend you start with 311. You can go online
Okay.
and you can do the online form, or you can call. And then here's what I will tell you. And we've had great experience. Excel was just one of our sponsors at our National Night Out event. If you have an instance, like we had an instance where like a telephone pole had been hit in the alleyway by a moving truck, and that telephone pole had been reported by multiple neighbors, and it never seemed, Excel did not respond. Then we were able to take the neighbors, ourselves, and Excel and really kind of highlight that relationship and get some action going so that receives some attention. But with the trees, not knowing what the power line situation is in the area you're describing, please start with 311. And then if 311 refers you back to Excel and you're not getting a response from Excel or you're not getting what you're needing, let us know. And then we can continue to help you reach out. Again, that's one of those good questions because while it is crime prevention, which seems police related, it's a city service that would cut the trees.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
Anyone else? Great. Thank you so much. I'll be in touch, and thank you for taking time out of your evening tonight. We appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thanks for having us.
Thanks
You
for having
bet.
us, Vicki.
Thanks. So I'm gonna the rest of the meeting is going to be about a couple of announcements. I want to thank the board for helping get the ice cream social going this year. It was very successful. Lots of neighbors came out that we hadn't seen before. We got some new membership. All of that was good. Thank you to everyone that scooped that night as well. Also, Tom, you can back me up on this. I think we filled our paper routes, our newsletter delivery routes, which is awesome. So that's a great connection with the neighborhood. I'm just going to make a brief announcement about the swimming pool. I talked to Jolan Clark, the head of Parks and Rec, about how the pool could be open a longer period of time during the summer, say Memorial Day to Labor Day. There's several issues, but the big one is lifeguards. They hire in the spring. You have to be certified by the Red Cross. I looked up the qualifications. They're not that difficult, but you do have to go through the Red Cross test and try to dive down to 12 feet. Just start working on that. I'm just kidding. I don't know that you have to go that far, but I've had a lot of neighbors express interest, say they'd be willing to participate. So this is your heads up for Red Cross training. On a much more serious topic, the unlocking housing choices, which is a planning department process to essentially upzone residential zoning in Denver, has made a more concrete proposal. There's going to be a meeting tomorrow. John is on the committee. He'll be there. I'm going to go and observe. I can't speak, but John can. I hope everyone will take a little time to find out about this change in the zoning code. There's serious flaws. There's a lack of data. I'm not passing judgment about if it's good or bad, but it is going to affect all residential zoning code in Denver with the same rules. And it's flying under the flag of creating affordable housing. And that is just not really what's built into it at all. And even more concerning is our council representative, Chris Hinds, is on a working committee with the planning department, along with the planning board and several other council members. At a June 23rd meeting, Councilman Hinds suggested that the question posed was, if you were presented with this proposal today, would you vote for it? Councilman Hinds said not only would he vote for it, but his district, that would be us, is all for getting rid of single family housing zoning. And my experience with surveys that we've done around housing is, at least in Congress Park, that hasn't been true. So I hope everyone will pay attention. Contact Councilman Hinds. If you support it, let him know. If you don't, let him know. But planning wants to push this through before the end of the year because council's going to change. 6 seats are up. They won't have a majority anymore. And it, like so many other projects, it really is half-baked. There's much more work that needs to be done to make it work. So that's my heads up to you. I don't have any more information on the Colorado Boulevard BRT either. Wendy.
Yeah, I was just wondering, John, can you share the website where people can go to see the most recent proposal on unlocking housing choices? Is there a current proposal that they're working on that we could see, or is it not out yet?
To be honest with you, I'm not sure what's on the website. I haven't been on
It's
that
not,
recently, but
It's
It's through Denver Gov. And if you simply go to the uh, Denver Gov website and type in uh, UHC or unlocking housing choices, it'll take you to that sub
yeah.
page, and there's a lot of archival information there. But the what we're working on right now, have been working on for the last 2 weeks, I guess, um, are is the most concrete language that has been developed by the consultants in the city that we're looking at. So it's the closest thing to a specific document that we've seen thus far. And tomorrow, as I mentioned earlier, the meeting tomorrow is purportedly to, some of us have done some outside analysis uh, of the proposed design changes or zoning changes, and testing these changes and what the unintended or intended results could be. So I hope that it'll be a full discussion tomorrow around those ideas or issues.
Is that open to the public?
Well, as Vicki said,
Yes.
it's open for observation to the public, but not for participation. And the meetings are typically they are live cast. Occasionally, it's a challenge to get in, but the if you can't get in or you're not available, the meetings are from 4 to 6. You can always find it on through YouTube.
Maggie.
And the meeting that
Oh,
Vicki
sorry.
was referring to back in, was that in June or July? I can't remember
June
now. Yeah.
23rd.
So that meeting, which was a very interesting and important meeting, I felt, because all members of planning board as well as city council were there for a presentation from CPD that was kind of an update. And that was a very informative meeting on a number of different levels.
Maggie.
Yeah, excuse me. I spent today downloading that video that John's talking
Thank
about.
you.
It was June 23rd, I believe.
Yeah.
And I've made those little private links to each speaker so that you can see what each individual council member has said, plus members of the planning board. You're right, John. It's a very important meeting. I uploaded that today to YouTube. I haven't published it on our website until tomorrow, but it will have the transcription and it will have where to go for if you know it's hard to listen to these things for an hour and a half, but you can go at this one and go to see what the planning board is talking about, what Chris Hinds is talking about. Maybe you want to hear what has happened over in Tennyson, because actually Sandoval uh, ended the meeting with a pretty impassioned speech
Very
about what had happened
impassioned.
over on Tennyson with the very
Yep.
same thing. So if you could send me, if you can find the link for this next upcoming meeting, I'll do the same thing.
That'd be
And
great.
we'll have it in our library and publish it out.
Great.
Maggie, I agree. An hour and a half seems like a long time to listen to zoning code. But one of the things about that meeting was a suburban councilperson asking how in the world these proposals could work on a cul-de-sac without an alley.
Yeah,
And while that is not our application, the city's proposing this for them too. And that's just an obvious example of the lack of critical thinking. The
And the
website,
assumption that cookie cutter can fit for everyone. Yeah.
well,
yeah,
yeah, and I'll be sending this out in our email blast too, the links to it so that people can actually listen to it, listen to what our councilman has said. That's an important driver right there.
Is he up for
yes,
election?
Yes,
yes, he is. Also, the website, I was just there, and I can tell you the current graphics are the same they presented prior to it's the same thing. They went around last spring and they have made changes. So there has been a request many times for improved graphics, period. Um, so tomorrow should be revealing about what they've done. But I think my biggest concern is the speed with which they're operating and the actual impact. And if the election's what's driving it, it's a bad driver. The consequences are big. So, any more questions about that? Thank you, everyone, for coming. Please keep your eye out for the October meeting. I'll be posting definite information as soon as I get it. And thanks everybody for coming. Any more
Thanks, Vicki.
any more comments tonight? Okay.
No, thank you.
Yeah, thanks everybody. John, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yes. See
Okay.
you. See you all.
Good night.